had a very unpleasant run-in with my health and safety test. I'm going to have to wait a week before I can do that one again, so in the meantime, I'm going to have a munch at some unusual projects here. Let's see if I can do some stuff which stretches the feasibility of this all. Now, let's just see. Okay, let's talk frack me aircraft. First of all, let's make it a two-person, two-seater. Okay. And of course, the next thing I'm gonna do, provide it with fuel. Nope, not rocket fuel. How much liquid fuel? A lot or a little? A lot. Oh, excuse me. Couldn't reach the mute button in time. Right. Nope. I want it shore at the front. Okay. What I'm looking for here is something with like maybe a twin boom. Big, huge engines. Huge. I'm not talking about like massive amounts of speed here, I'm just talking about altitude. That's what I'm going for. I wanted to have as much ability to provide compression at high altitude as I can. You know, almost like a single stage to orbit jet. You used to be able to make them before they made the updates that you couldn't stack compressors. That was on the intakes as well. Now I've just got to find another way of doing it. What I'll do, I'll put the long piece at the end. Whoop. Yoink. Right. Does not need oxidizer, nor does that. Okay, what are we looking at? 10 tons of... That's its fueled weight. Don't really need to go down to dry weight. Right! Now let's talk about just want to make this look neat. No. You got any better nose pieces than that? You'll do. That's ridiculous. Right. Now I have made actually. I have done the Kerbal boat program. I actually built a large water-faring machine, and it worked quite well. It was just a pain in the ass to get down the runway to actually get in the water, but was amusing. At some point I will probably try and do some kind of video connecting that. Okay. Oops. Not what I was after. Okay, did that actually move? Nope. Alright, let's talk engines. Right, we'll start with the aerodynamics sections of them. Doing inboard. Oops. Okay, just trying to follow the shape here as best I can in order to make it engine pre-Kerbal. Alright, you're it. You'll go on the outside. It doesn't look aggressive enough. Looks silly. Oh, I'll have plenty of air in. Just cap it off. Is it still possible to do that? No. Okay. One there. They seem level enough. Underside. Oop. Try and get it as symmetrical as I can. Is it following the line of the engine? It's just behind that one. Okay. Again. Okay, that one is a little bit off, so how's that? I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get it exactly where I want it to be. That might also be because the symmetry I'm having messed up is by this particular intake here, so... Oh, that's a lot jollier. Yes, indeed. Okay, yeah, it's got movement, which is what I want. Okay. Do I put them there? And that's the thing, my experience with tails... I'm sure people can make a lot of jokes out of that, but my experience with tails and their elevation effect on the aircraft varies according to like the entire size of it. Of course, ruddering is really important when you've got a large plane, but at the same time you can get away with not having a tail, a rudder as such as a tail fin. You don't need one. An example of this would be a BT Spirit, where ruddering is actually controlled by engines as well as like control surfaces that form kind of like a little brake. Anyway, it can be done. A spot of tea. Now I'm going to have to get to the trolley bit in a minute, but I haven't completed the engines, so where's that nice aggressive looking intake? There we go. There we go. Alright, it looks silly, but that's kind of what I was after anyway. Now, actual engines. Alright. I just hope that that's not within the sort of the flamey part of it, which would completely screw my ability to prevent it from overheating. Right, that is a lot of lift. Yeah, all seems alright. Okay. Back to control surfaces. Yes, we appear to be building something of a large bird here. I'm also going to want... Where's the advanced canards? There it is. Put a couple of these out on the very front. Their purpose is... Oops. Actually, I'll leave them tilting down a bit. See, shouldn't make too much of a mess. Right, going back to aerodynamics for a moment. Whoops, wrong one. Adjustable ramp intake. I don't understand how they're adjustable, but fair enough. Breathe. Breathe it in. Okay. That's there. I just hope that there's no kind of like clunking problems from it when I've got the when the actual wing above it, the control surface of the wing is pretty much the entire wing, so I hope when that moves it doesn't cause any problems for these vents. Should we put another one in there? Fit it in. Yeah, go on. Doink. Okay. That was kind of mental. Right. Trolley. It's utilities, that's it. Medium landing gear. The trouble comes when your landing gear doesn't have steering in it. That's when you find yourself with problems. Oops. Actually, go big or stay home. Providing me with now a wonderful problem of how I'm going to make it steer without its nose. Whoops. Well, they're already off the centre, so I don't have a lot of choice. Could always go for a regular one and hope for the best. Oh, it does steer. Oh, coolies. Right, I think our problem's just gone for a burden. Yeah, that provide enough stability. At least I fucking hope so. I always like having extra illumination. So just double that up. Nice to see the ground before he comes up to meet you. The other thing, of course, which does help immensely, are air brakes. Oops. There you go for the F-15 kick. Ooh. Save it. Roll it out. Let's see what happens. I get the feeling that the structure of it's going to be wonky. I might need to reinforce it. Okay, it's not looking too bad at the moment. And of course there's a lot of power pushing this along, so I'm going to bring the throttle down before I even hit the ignition. How are we looking, fellas? Let's turn the lights on for you. There we are. Somebody's home. Ready? Off we go. Yeah, I'll put the speedo down the bottom and hope for the best. Where are we at now? 60. Put my foot down a little bit more. A bit more. That should be enough. Whoops! Sorry, fellas. Hang on. Now that's sturdy. Oh my word. Okay. I think we're going to need to do something about that. One of those fabulous aviation moments where you're asking, how did this happen? Well, talk to the idiot who built it. Take it back to assembly. What did I do wrong? Okay. I lifted too quickly. I pulled back too quickly. That's definitely one thing that I did wrong. I could always put a wheel here. That'll help prevent devastation when I take off. Okay. So there's good lifting surface as well. That much we do know. Don't need any more than that. Okay, I think we're good. Take two. Well, there is no RCS, I'm just in the habit of pressing it. Well, these magnificent men in their flying machine. I think we're good. Nice one. Gentlemen, let's put our feet down, shall we? This bird was meant after all to be a climber. I just had a Steppenwolf song pop into my head. No, Magic Carpet Ride. Don't know why. Okay, getting a little bit fast here. Let's bleed off a bit of speed. Now. Fuel flow is good. Thrust is increasing. Right, I am running on the premise here that there's going to be enough air to get it over 25 kilometers, which is what I want. It's like my minimum. Just level it out just a tiny bit. Just get the angle of attack into the shallow. Do not want it going too steep. Okay. See, these are ×4, so there should be enough, and the effective airspeed is, my word, is still climbing strongly. Aye aye. Well, that's peculiar. I wasn't expecting that to be. Okay. Right. Thrust is actually coming right down in terms of the power output, so. Not looking at getting a great deal more in the way of height with these engines. Might have to try different engines because it's still going up, but the amount of actual thrust that I'm getting is negligible. Oh, but there should be enough air going through there. But these ones, that one is a bit of an oh, 'tis a mystery. Oops. Can we level the bird out, please? Yeah. Accidents do tend to happen when we're not flying the right way. I had no idea I could do that. And they go straight back to... You're going back to dead. They're still losing altitude. We're losing height there based on... Right, okay, now... Atmosphere's getting a bit thin, but we should still have enough control over the vehicle. Lord knows if I'll be able to land this one, but in order to like truncate the video, not to have it too long, I am just going to cut the gas, fellas. Blimey. Some hot metal there. Right, I'll just leave them in a low-powered glide so they descend gracefully. So if they hit the water, we know that this thing's sturdy. They'd be fine under those conditions. But let's just reverse time anyhow. Right. Oh, what do we do with you? Now these are good engines. They've provided thrust right up to 20,000 meters, but these didn't. So I'm gonna remove these and replace them with Rapiers, which they are good, though they have a propensity to be slightly more sucky on fuel. Right, that's that. The bit down the bottom that I can't see. Right. So I'm going to try that. See, I'm not sure if more engines is going to make any difference. More engines or more air intake. I can create more air intakes for those engines, but what their what their advantage is going to be, Lord only knows. Ooh, this is going to make a bit of a mess of the sky. Can you get off the arrow? Ooh, nice one. Gear up. I forgot to turn the lights on earlier. Right. I will leave it at low thrust, but I will try and speed it up a bit. Yeah, I'm aware of that. Just as long as it doesn't hit any like high speed spins, because then that'll be the end of it. Get it up past sort of 5,000. Whoops. Whoa. Right, okay. Okay. Generating enough juice to keep us going there. Okay. Let's get into the thinner area of the atmosphere before I can start playing with put your foot down, John. Jeb. Fuel flow is good. So once we get past there, this region here is the absolute limit, so again, we need some braking. Bring that speed down. Right, we are running out of air now. But we got all the way up to 24, 25. Right, so I got to my mark. Now let's see how much further we go before we flame out. Right, we've lost them. The Rapier seems to be going. That's it. 30 kilometers off the deck. Not bad. What do you reckon, fellas? You got yourself some healthy speed in the process. Not a bad bird. Not a bad bird. But blimey, does that turn slow? Right. 30, call it 34 kilometers. Think of it, I made it so that we could have a quicker rate of ascent and not be worried about the thermal considerations, then just cut up to 20,000 meters as quickly as possible and then just power from there on a regular kind of incline. So not a bad birdie. Wow! Now, with the existing engines, how much more can I get out of it before it loses power? There's a point, isn't it? It's how far around Kerbal can you go on a tank of gas? That experiment is a lot of fun. The space center's there, so I'd like to build a plane that can essentially fly right the way around Kerbal. Haven't done that yet. Floor it, guys. You need to be home in time for kippers. Okay, let's just try the outer limits. Don't worry, I'll bring you fellas back from the dead. Thousands. My control surfaces just went bye-bye. Kaboom. Bang. She's breaking up. Okay, once that hits the end, that'll be the end of it for these fellas, so... Put her into a slightly steeper descent. The speed's going up, atmosphere is still thickening, but there you go. Kaboom. Lord, we still appear to have an engine. We should also still have brakes, so let's power them on. Didn't quite get to 1500, so... Okay... Might be possible. Might be possible. Just thinking about how likely their survival chances are. If I can get to... If I can get the plane to turn hard enough, perpendicular to the surface of the water. Oh. And it's not looking good. Sorry, fellas. Lost at sea. Okay. A relatively successful aeroplane. Right. Try and think of something I can do as an alternative that can maybe reach even higher without being as big. So, new please. Just sitting right at the front. No. Oop. I can't move up for some reason. Oh, hang on. That's better. Right, one thing I forgot to do last time was to include battery power. I'll do that this time around for sure. Don't need anything like radiators and whatnot. Still going to give them a little lamp underneath. Ooh. There we go. Right. Jeb's lightly sitting in the cockpit. Oh, there's a surprise. No. Hey, Valentino, go. Needs to be a chick behind the wheel of this one. Engines. Again, it's It's all about the amount of air we can pump through this bugger. So before I do so, I'm probably going to go for the rapier. But if you go to the aerodynamics, I want to have big ass air intake. Yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at here. Engine pre-cooler. Then we go to the engines themselves. These actually have fuel in them, which is handy. Keep the weight of the vehicle down, even though I can probably put fuel on outboards. But where are we? How you doing? Right. Boom. Now, these really big engines, they're a lot of fun, but they're not going to get you to incredible heights, not without an enormous structure to put them with. But they do balance out okay. I have actually done them with extra air input to try and get them to go above 25. It was a struggle with the size of the plane. It was a real beast. So we're just going to stick to this one. I want to see if I can get it up really high this time around. Now let's just get the nose on. Was it in aerodynamics? Keep forgetting. Yeah, that'll do. He's got a big nose. Any fuel in it? No, fair enough. Don't really need monopropellant actually, so. Now, to breathe. Swept wings. They're not control surface ones, are they? Yep. That's no good. But I will... should just go for a delta on this thing. Go for like the X-35 rocket. Whoop. Doesn't really afford me much in the way of area. I do need lift still. Oh, yeah, I'm definitely going to pack those on now before I start getting too heavily invested in. Oh, actually, I might need to change where they go, so just take them off for the moment. I was thinking of putting one of those big huge vents on the front, but I want this to have venting around the engine to the point of ridiculous, so I'll just double these up as much as I can. Breathe. Breathe in. Breathe out. Well, that is going to be quite a considerable amount of air. As for the underside, I'm not so sure. Right. Provides 2, so there is 16 there. And it compares to, say, that, or that, or that. So 16, 18. They don't equate too well, so let's stuff a few more of these on before I really get to the hey, I'm running out of space point. I'm right behind the cockpit. Put the control surfaces on this thing it's gonna prove to be an experience. Okay. Life's going to get interesting around the landing gear section. That particular problem. What are we looking at there? Okay. Now it looks quite peculiar in a weird but groovy sort of way. Right. Wings. Let's get to it. They're going to have to be fixed with surfaces, so I did look at these swept wings. Oops. There you go. Right. Alright. I now have the very dubious job of fitting undercarriage to it, but utility. Keep forgetting where it is. If I can get Lord knows how this is really going to work. Okay, a medium on there as well. I hope that's straight. Yeah, looks like it. Okay, four-wheeler. Now, whoops, aerodynamics and control surfaces. Where are we? There we are. Whoa! Something tells me that would be excessive. Right, what we got here? Nope, not necessary. That one. I'll do. There's my sterling hope that this will work. We've got to name it, KX Crowler. Well, then it'd have to be a colour, wouldn't it? Let's just call it the Windy Miller. What's with the capital I's? Okay. Let's save. Let's get him out onto the black. Let's see if we can get him up into the blue. Boink. Right, I just spotted a potential devastatingly bad problem. No steering, thank you very much. What about you? Can I switch your steering off as well, or has it already been done? Good. Let's throttle that down a bit. Okay, alright. Shopping trolley control here. Come on, we need to get airborne. Like, without... Oh my word. Okay, this is going to go pear-shaped. It was looking good there for a moment. 175, okay. I think I'll just try another launch. I don't know if I'm going to need to do anything else to the actual plane itself. Maybe we go for a slow and steady. Still teeing off the steering on them. Val keeping it nice and straight for us. Good stuff. Oh, twitching a little bit. I'm going to turn your stability off for a moment. Whoa, same problem as last time. Two sharpenings. Oh, balls. Hey, she made it. Try again. Narrowly missing the buildings that I wasn't paying attention to. Alright. Now, regrettably, you don't have a nose, but let's see how you go. Let's see how far you get without it. Alright, we got it floored. Let's go. Oh, hang on. Stability is switched on, isn't it? Yes. Right. Okay, here's hoping. Just... Yep. We know the drill. Let's keep it on double time. I have this horrible feeling that if I speed it up too much, it's likely to go pear-shaped. Like it is now. Oh, hang on. I don't believe it just stalled. And now we're losing altitude. Great. Ooh. No, 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 no. Flipping over is just not going to help you. Okay, you need to stay level and then ever so slight incline. Oh my word. There, like that. Finally. Wacky house plane. Starting to pick up an appreciable amount of speed now. It's putting a smile on Val's face. You can't punch out of these birds, so if it comes down to the crunch, I mean, her EVA she can eject, but she will probably have a very fatal incident once she falls. They don't have parachutes, which I find deeply unfair. That'll do. Gonna have to look at the kind of music she'd keep on her iPod when she's going up to those kind of altitudes. Now, if you've seen the film Iron Eagle, you'll get where that idea comes from. Just simply have to have music in a fast-moving aircraft. Yep. Actually, I can pretty much go for that. Okay, looking good. Not sure I'm going to be able to get to the same altitude that I was looking at on the last plane, because I get the feeling that speed-wise, I'm not going to be seeing it go beyond much past 22, 23. Just watch and see how far it gets. Thrust is bleeding off. It's slowing down in terms of its airspeed. .25. At 30, that would be a massive achievement. But seeing as the speed's bleeding off, I can't really see that happening. There we go. Doesn't actually make sense, considering that it might be dropping in speed, but it's still travelling at that kind of a speed, so it should be still ascending. So why it suddenly decides to drop back down again, a little bit of a mystery to me. I think the game physics on that don't take into account the relative velocity. Delta V should be enough to overcome its weight. Right, so there wasn't enough airflow. Okay. Right. Don't know whether or not we're going to get Val to land. Be interesting if I could. Even if she breaks the plane in the process, getting her down on the ground at the moment would be satisfactory. Don't need a massive amount of thrust on this one. We all know what happens when we need to come in contact with the ground whilst in a moving vehicle. You need wheels. And these are wheels with lights on them, which is awesome. And I'm gonna put the brakes on, even though the only one she's got on her wheels is going to prove to be somewhat difficult. Slow the engine down a little bit more. Get it down to the almost, I won't be able to stay up in the airspeed. Say, that looks fairly flat. .27.5 kilometers before tumbling back down to Earth. Not bad at all, Val. Okay. That wasn't supposed to happen, but still, we'll try our luck with gliding in. I am certain that we are able to touch down without destroying the plane entirely, but I am not going to say that it's going to be a flawless execution. I'm very limited in my manoeuvring options now that I don't have power. Okay. I'm just looking for my shadow. Right. A little bit more speed. Aye aye. Right, it's looking good. Sold! I'll have that. And that's where I'm going to leave it. Having held our breaths one too many times, including the engines.